You're logging into your Fafsa account, finishing up typing in your passwords when your computer announces, "I'm not doing it, and you can't make me." That's not good. What are we going to do now? Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. Actually, you're going to call the Federal Student Aid Information Center at the number shown on your screen. Welcome to this presentation on the FAFSA, or Federal Student Aid ID and Problem Resolution. The subtitle of this presentation is Unsticking Your Stuck FSA ID Account. The sequence of this presentation is as shown. Let's start with introductions. This presentation is part of a series on funding higher education provided by United Way of the Quad Cities area. I'm John Cook, a volunteer and FAFSA navigator. I'm going to keep this presentation moving along. Please feel free at any time to pause or replay the video in order to review the sections that catch your interest. Let's remind ourselves on what we need to do to get our login and identifying information into the FAFSA ID system. When there is a problem, sometimes people oversimplify things and just advise, just use the forgot username or password functions. They're going to think the problem is solved that easily with the FAFSA. But no. We're going to remind ourselves that the FAFSA ID system is going to use your provided email, text message number, and security questions and answers to verify who you are and if you're eligible to proceed. Remember how we got our ID information into the system in the first place? Here we are at the FAFSA Online main page. We have to scroll down below the main login section into the lower middle and locate the Get an FSA ID section and click on it. Want to do more researching for decision information and guidance on the FAFSA ID? The Department of Education's website, studentaid.ed.gov, has two sections for your use. The first is the More Info section in the middle right of the home page. Let's blow up the More Info list and look at the interesting topics. Of most interest to us now are the resources. The second is the fourth main topic in the home page. How do I apply for aid? These are the two sections we'll be using for our research and use at studentaid.ed.gov. Let's explore what we have available to us, starting first with resources. In the resources list within the FAFSA information section, you'll find FSA ID resources such as videos and a fact sheet to download and use. Within the Applying for Aid section on the main menu, on the right you will find the Quick Links section, and in the middle of Quick Links is the FSA ID link. You may then find the hot buttons for creating a new ID or updating your ID, plus an invitation to read more on the FSA ID functions. As part of the FSA ID creation and maintenance processes, you'll be invited to provide your email address, and it will be verified, and a text message phone number, plus it will also be verified, and security questions and answers. These three methods will be used to verify who you are and assist in any recovery operation and reset your user ID and password. If any of these three change, new email account, new smartphone number, or forgot your question and answers, please do visit the Manage My FSA ID section to update your information. Otherwise, if you have a problem and the system does not have your current and correct contact information, it is designed to both protect and, yes, frustrate you. So let's now discuss how to get your identifying information out of the FSA ID system. We're back at the main Fafsa login page. Remember to scroll down below the login section to the middle of the page. In the middle left is how to access the Get Fafsa Help section. Here we are at the Fafsa Help page at the web address shown on the screen. On the left margin in the center, we click in the FSA ID section and it opens up with a help menu. We can then read and find the help section for how do I unlock my FSA ID. Let's read through the guidance. Number 1, go to FSAID.ed.gov. Click on the Manage My FSA ID tab. Log in your username and password, even though we know that they are not working. We get the message to continue us on and to use the following 3 options. You can choose among 3 options, one of which you hope is working. Email via your registered email account, text message via your registered smartphone number, or using your registered security questions and answers. But what if these methods won't or don't work? Who are you going to call? The Federal Student Aid Information Center at 1-800-433-3243. Where does one find that number? At the Student Aid website at the 4th major section, How do I apply for aid? Inside the 4th major section, How do I apply for aid, is the FSA ID section, and you are invited to do more reading. There's lots of reading topics. Toward the bottom of the reading list topics, you'll find the section on common issues with the FSA ID. Seems like a hot topic that other people have had trouble with. You're not alone. Click on any one of the appropriate problem resolution topics. Throughout the problem resolution sections, we get the advice when things get really bad to call the Federal Student Aid Information Center at the numbers shown. There is also follow-on advice if they cannot resolve the problem on the phone. Please to visit the Federal Student Aid section on the FSA ID as shown on the screen. Time to wrap up this presentation. In this presentation, we've learned of the methods to unstick a stuck FSA ID account using registered emails, text messages, and security questions and answers, plus where to find that all-important phone number for the Federal Student Aid Information Center. Would you consider putting this phone number in the contact list of your personal phone? You and a client may need it. Displayed here are the references and referrals used in this presentation. Displayed here are some notes for you to read, plus my email address if you have questions or have a suggestion to improve this presentation. Thank you for your time and kind attention. As a United Way FAFSA navigator, it has been my pleasure to provide to you this presentation on the FSA ID and getting a stuck account unstuck.